one who serves, tuggling. Om Mani Padmehum, Om Mani Padmehum, Om Mar. Greetings to you, one who serves here, and no Shoshana today. So we will do our best to assist you in your questions, and we will ask you now for your questions, if you have them. Member, I have a question. OWS. Yes, you're the Thomas. Yes. Always the one that comes forward with questions. And that is wonderful, though, because if you hold on to those questions, you hold on to what you have been wondering about. You will never have the answer if you do not ask for it. What is your question now? Member question. I've read and seen videos on the Telegram channel about Venezuelan gangs taking over apartment complexes in Colorado. And also the Hells Angels are going up to battle with these games. And just wondering if any of that is actually true, or if it's created by AI, which I don't trust at all. The main reason I'm wondering about that is because rural Colorado is rather close to our Earth. OWS answer. We will tell you that what you have read, what you have heard is very accurate at this point. This is part of the division that Kara spoke of here, and others of course have been speaking of for quite some time. More and more of this will occur. There are those that you would say are fed up, have had enough. Enough is enough. And they are coming to assist in bringing about order of law once again. But these ones that you are speaking of, what you call the Hell of the Angels, are coming to right the wrongs that have been done. And up to this point, like we say though, there will be more of this as the light rises up against the dark more and more. That is all we can say on this though now. But trust your discernment, trust your inner knowing when you have questions such as this. You knew deep within you that as you read this, or heard this, that it was accurate. You just do not trust in your inner knowing all the time. And it is coming more and more. Member continues to comment. What should I do about it? If I should establish, or try to get together a neighborhood militia, or something like that to protect us? OWS answer. We would say to you, if you believe that that is where your path lies, then go for it. But we would also say more so for you, surround yourself with light, surround your family with light, surround your friends, your home, all of this with light, and it will have the same effect. Member comments, I guess. Thank you. OWS, you can add further questions here. Member question, so my question is, can you hear me? I'm just wondering. Sure. Yeah. Sorry. Didn't hear your feedback. My question is, my understanding is that there's layers, or I guess the layers, I don't know what the best term is within each dimension. And my understanding is within each dimension, there's 5 layers, or like different levels. That's what I was shooting for, the word of levels. So we understand the lower 4th is a kind of like the wild west, like the astral plane, kind of like the canteen of our scene from Star Wars. We set my understanding, and then higher 4th obviously approaching the 5th dimension, which is more probably a lot more light, more refined, certainly less astral folks running amok. My question is, where are we? Like I would say that the light workers, the consciousness sort of may be represented by this group. Where do we predominantly just, well, 2 parts of the question, sorry, is what I asked true? And maybe you can explain a little bit of that? And then number 2 is, where are we predominantly residing consciousness-wise right now? OWS answer. We would tell you that most of you, if not all of you, are moving back and forth, we will say here, from the 3rd dimensional illusion, where you still find yourself at times, and other times you are operating in the mid-level of the 4th dimension, and even higher than that at times as well. You mostly skip the lower levels of the 4th dimension, where the denizens reside, because they cannot get to you. Your vibrational frequency is too high. Your consciousness is too high for them to be able to intersect your level of consciousness, and your thinking processes, and all of this, because you know better. You do not allow them in for the most part. There are times, of course, where you find yourself perhaps ill in your health, or something, and they can find their way in a bit. But your vibrational frequency and your guides are there to assist in keeping that from having any real effect on you. So mostly we would say you are finding yourselves more and more often in the mid to upper fourth dimension, and even times finding yourself moving into the fifth. But then falling back again perhaps. Member comments, but we'll continue that toggling process for lack of a better term. Going back, pinging back, and forth. Eventually we will not be pinging back in the third. Hopefully we'll be pinging somewhere between mid-fourth and low-fifth. OWS answer. That's correct. That is the essential process that you are all within. Perfect. Member comment. Thank you so much. Appreciate it. Member question 0. So, yes, I wanted to dovetail on that question. So those in our lives, like our families or friends, who are unfortunately still asleep, may be wearing masks, or getting vaccinated, or thinking Kamala Harris is the new Joan of Arc as president. Are those people lower on the fourth or still in the third? I know there's going to be a separation. We already know that. But I'm wondering if those people are, well, I think it's kind of obvious. Just to confirm, they are on a lower frequency than those of us light workers on this call. OWS answer. Most certainly, they are more, for the most part, in the third-dimensional track within the third-dimensional illusion at this point. At times, they find themselves rising a bit, but it is their lack of knowing and their lack of inner knowing, we will say going with their inner knowing, that keeps them from moving out of that third dimension. Member continues. Okay. So are those loved ones who are in the third dimension, which I can't see, are those when we have more of this side and that side of light workers going this way, the third people going that way, is that going to be kind of a, they cannot jump higher than the third dimension? And that's why the frequency will be expressed into different life experiences. OWS. That is correct. Member. Thank you. Thank you. OWS. There be any further questions here? Member question. I have a quick question. It's a little personal to me, but does my smoking allow access to the negative to me, or not? OWS answer. We would tell you that if you believe that it does, then it does. Member continues. Well, you see, I really don't. But that other question, if you think of it. Well, we did not understand that second part. I said the first question made me think of that. So I think maybe I'm going ask. OWS answer. Yes. Smoking, as you are saying. Drinking, using drugs, all of these things allow for an opening at times for those of the dark forces to make their way in and have some way of influencing you. Even though I'm doing it all about, let us finish. It is all about consciousness. So if your level of consciousness is high, even though you are imbibing in this way that you are speaking of, they cannot get through here. So it is all about consciousness and vibration. Member comments, okay. All right. Thank you. OWS, any further questions? Member question. Yes, I have a question, please. Are we part of the council that mentioned Master Kara in this early conversation? OWS answer. The question is, are you a part of that council? Is that what you are asking? Yes, we would say that nothing your conscious knowing self here on the earth here is aware of this. But in your dream state, some of you certainly are a part of these councils that are needed. Yes. Thank you. Any further questions? Member question. Yes. Well, that brings up a question then, because I'm always curious. Or I mean, it seems like once in a while I remember dreams, but for the most part, I don't. I don't know, maybe it's because I'm so far away dealing with such things that it's not like maybe I'm doing work while I'm sleeping instead of like play. Is that holding any water? Like that's why I don't remember it, because like I'm far away doing things of importance. OWS answer. You are quite accurate in what you are saying here. Even though you do not remember your dreams, you are in a subjective reality of your own here. And that reality for many of you is. The organizer has ended this meeting. Goodbye. Conference call ended abruptly, not sure why. From 3D to 4D and 5D. Co-creators permitted disclosing this info only from the 4th of September 2024, when everything was successfully terminated. 3 weeks ago, on August 17th, an irreparable, as it seemed, however inevitable, happened. The new Earth's 14D logos, Altera Gaia, began to rapidly lose its form of an absolute crystal, ideal sphere, and started turning into the former stellar polyhedron with energy-consuming sharp angles that carried then a huge amount of karma, and could not ideally retransmit the source's energy. The 14D logos has formidable resistance to it, but couldn't cope with exponential eras in Earthlings and Dark's negativity during the last months. Altera Gaia held on as best as could, but unfortunately, the forces were not unlimited. The cumulative effect has worked. On the 17th of August, 2024, a nidus of causal karma formed in terrestrial 14D matrix. Due to the strong destructive factors of war in space and on Earth, Sea Soldier, DNI, the 2nd of September 2024, and the accompanied emissions of dark energies, the center of infection began to grow avalanche-like, absorbing the radiant substance of the planetary logos. It was on the verge of collapse, and even stopping the process would not have arrested karmic infection and the loss of many functions, as an instrument of the Earth's transformation. A single 3D/4D/5D ion would cease to exist. The time was literally running out in minutes. No one knew what to do. Altera Gaia was fading in front of all, and co-creators, karma lords, and other higher hierarchs couldn't involve directly because are not embedded on Earth. This is a necessary technical condition for providing assistance. In this situation, the higher selves of several light warriors made a self-sacrificing decision, and independently intervened in the situation, since there was no seconds left for approval. On the evening of the 17th of August, 2024, each OS participant began to actively take in self the karma-stricken segment and process it. It saved the situation. The terrestrial causal matrix was completely purified, but at what cost? The infected part was gigantic in size, and simply gobbled light warriors, self-organizing like karmic avalanche. To pull through and stay clean, their causal shells instantly dropped it onto the lower manifestation bodies, the physical corpuses, that were on the verge of life and death. After this, everyone survived as best as could by mobilizing everything had learned over the years of service and participation in dozens of ops. As is often the case, on the physical plane, the taken karma manifested itself as severe injuries. Light Warriors, the group's co-head, got the heaviest when undertook the annihilation of the primary pest spot. On the same evening, she suffered a severe fracture of her arm with dislocated bones. Only strong painkillers helped her to successfully complete the operation and not lose consciousness from the hellish pain that continues to this day. In parallel, Light Warriors singled out fragments from their causal bodies, deleted personal programs and data from them, and put this surrogate substance in the terrestrial causal field to prevent a mass defect, and Earth would remain operational. On the night of August 30th to 31st, at 1 minute past midnight LT, they took their parts back and returned to their places, chunks completely cleared from karma. Thus, for the first time they became donors of our planet. The entire op ended successfully, but it's too early for everyone to relax. From 3D to 4D and 5D, Sacrifice Part 2. After the complete restoring of the Earth's 14D logos altar, Altera Gaia, Sea Sacrifice, DNI, the 5th of September 2024, co-creators immediately started a large galactic operation to provide additional protection to the planet. They are aware that what happened on the 17th of August may happen again, given the situation of our civilization and the intensity of the new space war in our local universe. There are more than 3.8 million inhabited worlds, spiritual and technocratic, creative and destructive, friendly and aggressive. In destructive civilizations, the inhabitants pursue only selfish and aggressive goals, and the psychology in which divide and conquer, disdain and hubris, rejection and supremacy of one over the others dominate. In creative cosmic races, the main concept of life is the spiritual development of all beings, and in the creating and formation of infrastructure, technical, cultural, and social processes, the main emphasis is on kindness and altruism, support and care for others, love and tolerance for another worldview. Such a civilization has already passed the mass wars, global and local, rigid division into races and nations, state borders, and territorial problems, and is ruled on the basis of the greater cosmos laws. The technocratic worlds are built and run by a scientific and techno-geek caste and or aliens, completely devoid of empathy, love, and compassion. Its main value is the highest tech progress and predatory access to others' resources by any means. These are extreme manifestations. On the whole, mixed types of communities prevail, where these principles are present in different proportions. In light of this, what type does our civilization belong to? Answer: 20 to 30% creative, and 70 to 80% destructive, about 80% technocratic, and 20% spiritual. This is the reality and the path on which we have to transform. In order to protect 14D Altera Gaia from the wrecking impacts, both ours and from outside, co-creators placed it in a protective cocoon, the light Merkaba, using aspects of another planetary logos as a cosmic donor. The capsule will suppress the karmic mutation, and in case of occurring, will absorb and annihilate it, as in previous Hoplite warriors did. Of course, this is not an ideal solution, resembling placing a patient in a hyperbaric oxygenation chamber. It's only a temporary measure, although creates problems for both logos. Technically, it will be difficult for Altera Gaia to continue the many planned transformations. Whose aspects does the Earth's anti-karmic Merkaba consist of? Which planetary logos or few logos took such a self-sacrificing step? Co-creators don't unveil, disclosing only that it was installed on the evening of the 31st of August, 2024. They transported it through the Sun's logos, which indicates that the donor is not a planet of our solar system. During the movement, a heart-shaped spot the size of Earth formed on the luminary. The Venus, Saturn, Jupiter, Mars, and Mercury parade created a powerful additional boost on this day. The Sun resided in Virgo, while Mercury has resumed its forward motion. Pluto retrograde in Aquarius, and the Moon in Leo formed a harmonious alignment with Mercury, in the same sign. All this together created in the entire solar system and terrestrial space an atmosphere brimming with love, kindness, and peace, suggesting that it's a favorable time to recognize Earth and Earthling ability to shape own fate, even in moments when it may seem impossible. Find stability and become the calm center amidst chaos. Throughout history, when it was least expected, they have achieved remarkable feats because possess the ability to tap into embedded inner potential. sorceryofflight.com. The other videos are in the English video playlist. Help me spread the light, click like, share, and subscribe to the channel. Thank you.